Before we begin, please hit a like and subscribe.
You are now listening to the Dark Cabinet Files, where hidden history, forbidden science, and unanswered questions are reviewed. And this is what we found. There is a phrase older than governments, older than markets. It may be even older than the stories we tell our children about fairness and opportunity. To those who already have, more is given. From those with little, even that will be taken. Sociologists call this the Matthew effect, accumulated advantage, compounding power, a gravity of wealth that pulls opportunity upward while millions struggle just to remain where they are. Some call it economics, others call it injustice. And a growing number of people are starting to ask a more dangerous question. What if the system was never meant to be equal at all? Welcome back. This is the place where uncomfortable questions are not avoided, not softened, not buried under polite language. Tonight we are stepping into one of the most explosive conversations in the modern world. Why the rich keep getting richer, and why the poor keep falling behind, and why, for many people, the explanation no longer feels accidental. Even mainstream economists now admit that wealth concentrates over time. Investments multiply, assets generate more assets, access creates more access. Meanwhile, wages move slowly, inflation moves quickly, and the entire generations find themselves working harder for less security than the ones before. This is not theory. This is measurable reality. The Matthew effect is visible in housing, education, healthcare, and even political influence. The distance between the top and everyone else keeps expanding. For some observers, this is simply the outcome of capitalism. For others, it signals something deeper. Because when the same crisis repeatedly transfers wealth upward, suspicion begins to grow. Not proof, not certainty, but a persistent feeling that power may be protecting itself on purpose. Across history, moments of extreme inequality have always produced the same kinds of stories. Stories about hidden rulers, secret alliances, powerful families operating beyond public view. Ancient societies accused elites of dark rituals. Medieval populations whispered about secret cults. Every era, when suffering became unbearable, imagined something monstrous behind the curtain. Historians often explain these stories as fear, propaganda, or social tension. But the pattern itself never disappears. In the modern world, these suspicions have taken new forms. Some believe a small network of global elites shapes politics, finance, and even culture from the shadows. Others point to real institutions, lobbying power, and documented corruption is evidence that influence concentrates at the very top. And in the darkest corners of conspiracy culture, the accusations become far more disturbing. Claims of secret rituals, hidden abuse, symbolic connections to ancient traditions of power and sacrificing people. Investigations have never confirmed a global occult, yet the image persists because it expresses something emotional rather than literal. The fear that extreme power eventually loses its humanity? One modern myth centers on a chemical called adrenochrome. Online narratives describe it as a substance connected to youth, power, or altered consciousness. It also has very strict ties to child sacrifice. I'm sorry to say, scientists does not support these claims. But the symbolism is ancient. The idea that rulers preserve themselves through the suffering of the powerless appears in myths, legends, and religious texts across civilization. Whether metaphor or belief, the theme repeats. Secret societies also fuel the imagination. Skull and Bones, Freemasonry, the historical Bavarian Illuminati. Some see networking in philosophy, others see hidden coordination. Symbols like the all-seeing eye appear in religion, architecture, and currency. To believe they signal control? To skeptics, they are coincidence or tradition. Meaning depends on the lens of the observer. Then there are moments when conspiracy and reality collide. The case of Jeffrey Epstein reveals documented abuse connected to extraordinary wealth and influence. Court records confirm victims. Powerful associations raise global questions. His death in custody, deep in public, is distrust. Around those verified facts, far more extreme theories grow. Rituals, hidden networks, ancient practices, none proven, yet widely believed. Because once real corruption is exposed, the imagination pushes further. Throughout history, the same psychological law repeats. Extreme inequality creates extreme stories. When systems feel indifferent, people search for intention. When power feels unreachable, people imagine conspiracy. When justice feels absent, even the impossible begins to feel plausible. So, what is the truth? Is the world secretly controlled, or simply structured in a way that produces the same suffering again and again? Are the darkest accusations literal or symbolic expressions of a deeper human fear? That power, without limits, stops seeing ordinary people as human at all. The Matthew effect is real. Wealth is concentrating. Trust is collapsing. And across the world, more people are beginning to question the story they were told about how the system works. We are not here to tell you what to believe. Only open the files, to look directly at the pattern, and to ask the question many are now afraid to ignore. If this is heaven for some and hell for others, the only question that matters is why. Now here are the dark cabinet files. We don't write the book, we just read the page. But the most important question is, what do you believe? Please let us know in the comments below.
To hear more from the Dark Cabinet Files, hit a like and subscribe.